Okay, what we thought we'd do, just to set up the game, it is the Broncos taking on the Rabbitohs in the opener. I do give the Rabbitohs a sneaky chance in this game. Before we get into the teams, Brian, what's a memory you have for this particular fixture, the Rabbitohs taking on the Broncos?
And we're going to be doing this for the weeks ahead.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I was involved in this audio that we're about to play, and it's still, I had a look at it. 21 years later, it still makes me feel not great. Play it, please. Brasco Doc.
Stuart Kelly was almost over the line then. What a terrific tackle.
Shane Walker with selective consciousness. With a wink to Tony Henderson, the trainer. I'm using up the clock. Don't take offence, Gordy. What a finish! It's been robbed! Brent Tate has scored in the corner.
Oh, that makes me feel crook. So we're playing the Broncos. This is my first year at South. South hadn't beaten the Broncos in 11 years.
Wow.
And Shane Walker makes one of the great try-saving tackles on Darren Lockyer, tackle 5, turnover, 18 seconds to go. Paul Stringer goes in dummy half. We're underneath our posts. He scoots out to the right, and Gordon Tallis grabs it, reefs the ball out, and Brent Tate scores in the corner. I feel sick. But the worst part of this is, at the old football stadium, the coaches were sitting up the top.
Yep.
And, you know, as soon as Shane Walker made that tackle, you had to get in the lift and come down.
Yes.
So our coach, Paul Langnat, Wayne Bennett was a Brisbane coach. They came down. They scored the try. So they were oblivious to all this.
Yeah.
I'm walking off. I get into the tunnel. Wayne's in the tunnel. So Wayne's coming down the tunnel. I'm walking up. And he goes, Fletch, congratulations, well done. And I thought, piss off. You know, thinking that, you know, he's taking the piss. And then it gets a little bit worse because then I just hear this noise coming out of the home sheds. Champagne popping, screaming. Ah, how good. It was Langers. So Langers, he came straight down and gone straight in the dressing room.
Your coach at the time.
The coach at the time.
Yeah.
Paul Langnack. And he's in there, and I had to tell him, I had to give him the bad news. So what are you doing? He goes, we just won. I said, mate, we didn't. We just got beat. And he goes, bullshit. I said, mate, we just got beat. Oh, man.
And another notable one, too, was, remember Tony Carroll? Was it Tony Delaceros?
Yes.
He tried to hurdle him.
Correct. Knocked him out. What about GI's try?
Oh, that's right.
That was the one where he beat about 5 or 6 players, scored right in the corner.
Scored in the north-western corner. Okay, here's the team news, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Jensen's been elevated to the starting side. Martin Tapau moving to the bench. Now, Brendan Picora, who was ruled out of the Las Vegas loss due to failing HIA, but he's recovered, so he's going to be back in the back row. And there's a little bit of a question mark, despite being named, Adam Reynolds. So that's another reason why I'm sort of thinking, is there value around South Sydney? There's a bit of a knock to the knee of Adam Reynolds. For South Sydney, the changes come through. We spoke about Jai Arrow and his absence with the shoulder. Tallis Duncan, who you like, don't you, Brian?
Yes, terrific player.
He's going to come into the starting side. And Shakai Mitchell, he comes onto the bench for his first appearance of 2024 in the place of Jacob Host. Sharks take on the Bulldogs, 6 o'clock. Down there in the Shire. Brian, take it away.
Okay, so for the Sharks, not many changes. Toby Rudolph has been named the starting side. Royce Hunt is moving to the bench. But your man, Braden Ueli, remains on the sidelines. So we were hoping he was going to come back for round 2 because you're a big fan of his. He re-signed, didn't he?
Yes.
So I was thinking about the Warriors. What are they going to get? Bulldogs, okay. Josh Adokar, gone. He's out for the next couple of weeks with AC injury. Connor Tracy comes onto the wing.
No chance.
Cameron Serrato is pretty much stuck with the same team. The halfback is still the answer. Matt Burton at 6. Yeah, Jacob Kiraz in the centres. He's not a centre.
Connor Tracy will be in the centres.
Has to be.
So let it be written, so let it be done.
Has to be.
Kiraz will be on the wing. They did that a lot last year, naming Kiraz in the centres, he'd play on the wing.
Bronson Sherry is in the reserves, so watch this space.
It would have been good to see him make his club debut against his former club.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe they
Round
just thought.
two.
But maybe they just thought.
In the Shire.
Pull back, Bronson.
Okay, fair enough.
Pull
So
back.
who's made way, boys? You mentioned the Sharks. So, Hamlin Ueli's not back, did you say, Bronson?
No, he's not back.
Oh, he's not back.
He's not back. So they're going to give him another week.
Ah.
Sex on Legs, who brained it.
Yep.
In second grade, he's still in the squad, but they're going to stick solid. Kurt Mann. I thought Kurt Mann came on at a little bit of spark but they've just got no go forward. They've got to punch holes through the defence and then play off the back of it.
Any clashes you think of? When I think about Sharks and Doggies, I think about Speechley and David Hatch and that sort of
Oh, you
back
know
in those days.
What about when Barr jobs him?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No.
So get that into viewers if you're at home now or sitting in your car or listeners.
Bar crack.
Bar crack Speechley splits his face off.
Really?
Oh, he swings around. God, he's a tough bloke. Do you remember that? I think it was Warren Bowl. It was on a Tuesday. It was on a Saturday afternoon. I was sitting there watching it, and then you go watch the replay.
Oh, how good.
Sports World. Oh, they were the days. Life was simpler, wasn't it?
Is that what you think of, though, when you think of Dogs and Cronulla back in those days?
Of those players?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the only other time
Broughton.
they played each other in Port Macquarie once as a Challenge Cup type thing, and I've never stolen anything in my life. And I was at this real, you know, that term dissonance, Brian. You like your terms?
Put it in again. I got convivial. What's my other one?
What else? You got?
What was the one you gave me?
Cognizant?
Sorry?
Cognizant? No. Aware of? No.
No, of those.
So anyway, so dissonance is that feeling where you're torn. So here I am.
That's
in
a
the
Pearl
sheds.
Jam song.
Dissonance.
Dissonance.
Is it? So I'm looking at these shorts.
Shorts?
Mitch Speechley has gone to the bathroom for the shower.
Yeah.
And I'm in the sheds here for Canterbury versus Cronulla pre-season trial, and I'm looking at these shorts, and I'm like a 10-year-old probably or 11-year-old, and I'm thinking this dissonance is going, I don't steal stuff. But when are you ever going to get to have a pair of NRL shorts?
Yeah.
And I took them.
I did
Mitch
the same
Healy
thing.
shorts.
I took Bundy's. I took Les Davidson shorts.
I know.
And I still have them. Side door at Redfern Oval, I walked in and I could just see them there. Bundy took them off and I took them. And I ran away.
Every time I see Mitch Healy, I harbour this guilt about having stolen his shorts, and I feel so
That's
bad
a good
about
one,
that.
Fitzy.
Anyway, as far as the team news is concerned, Brian, where do we go? Where are they from?
Where are they going? We're going to the Tourist. No, Brooks. We'll go to Brooks.
Panthers Eels out at Penrith. Scotty Sorensen and Mitch Kenny, typo NRL.com, make their return in the forwards. So Luke Garner goes to the bench. Luke Summerton drops out. So Sonny Luke keeps his role on the bench. Matt Eisenhuth is among the reserves with Paul Alamotti and Brad Schneider. The Eels, Brad Arthur, same 17 that rolled the Bulldogs. Rimu Greg is listed among the reserves as he looks to return from his hamstring injury. I think they've won 4 of the last 6. The Eels over the Panthers.
They have.
0-2 Panthers.
Ooh.
2-0 Eels. Is there a world?
Yeah, there's a big world.
What do you think of when you think of? What do you think of when you think Parramatta and Penrith, Brian? And if it doesn't rhyme with Jeff Gerard, I'm not here.
No, I was going to say Paul Dunn.
Paul Dunn.
I can just see Dunny because he
ya?
played for both teams. Yeah, I see P. Dunn.
Jeff Gerard played like for 150 odd each, didn't
Yeah.
he? For them. What about Fitzhenry? Not Daniel Fitzhenry. Who was the other Fitzhenry that played out there?
Andrew?
Oh,
Andrew Fitzhenry.
yes,
I think about him.
Yes. Or what about Anthony Zurub?
Yes.
Did he play for both?
Definitely Penrith.
Is there a lob that played for both?
A lob?
Yeah, there's a lob. There's a Brett lob.
Is there?
There's a lob.
A Rory?
There's a back. There's an overhead lob.
You might be thinking of the dummy half. Who was the dummy half? Might have played at Canberra as well.
Boyd.
Boyd. Did he play both?
No, but there's definitely a lob who played for Penrith.
Okay, we'll find out.
You got Bryce Cartwright, Hopgood, Regan Campbell-Gillard, all ex-Panthers. They get up for it, boys.
There's a Brett Lobb. He never played for Para, though. He didn't lob at Parramatta.
Okay.
No. Tourist, what do we got here?
The Saturday 3 p.m. game, it's the Raiders versus West Tigers at GIO Stadium. Replay of the snow game, of course.
Yep.
And Raiders centre Seb Chris, he returns from suspension. So that moves things around. Albert Hopewate pushes out to the wing. Nick Kotrich is the man that misses out. He goes to 18th man. And Danny Levi has been named at hooker despite the injury over the win versus the Knights. And for the first West Tigers team of the year, rookie Lachlan Galvin will be starting at half. We're starting at 5'8". Sorry, 5'8".
Wow.
Alongside Jaden Sullivan at halfback. Aiden Caesar on the bench.
Did you see the Dragons game last week, speaking about Jaden Sullivan? And it was Dragons versus the Gold Coast. And they said, can we just confirm whether Jaden Sullivan's touched the ball here? I'm thinking, it's going to be hard when he's at another club.
Yeah.
It wasn't even there.
Sloan.
It was Sloan. It was Sloan.
Oh, Brad Drew. There you go. 5 ending in 5016. 5016. Brad Drew.
Brad Drew. And, of course, when you think of Raiders, Tigers, you can't go past that 89 grand final, Brian.
No, definitely not.
One of the greats. Thank you very much for that, Tourist. Lockie Galvin, I'm excited about that, Brian.
Yeah, that's interesting, though. They've got Aiden Caesar on the bench. I mean, Appy plays 80 minutes usually, sometimes even 90. But Aiden Caesar, obviously just a cover for the kid. Yeah.
Can you see an upset there?
I can definitely see an upset.
Yep.
I can definitely. There's a lot of emotion went into that game up there in Newcastle for the Raiders. Sometimes it's very hard to get up again, and especially you're playing against a team that you're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
Bateman back in Canberra.
Yeah.
Caesar back in Canberra.
Yeah, I've got a feeling the Tigers will push them at the very least. Cowboys take on the Knights 5:30 at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. The Cowboys, after a destructive victory first up, they were absolutely awesome. But the coal miner and I giving the Knights a massive chance here. I tell you what, if there was forgive runs in rugby league, to use the racing parlance, that was a complete forgive run. They were just all over the shop, the Knights. They could forgive there's no doubt about that. No change to the 17 for the Cowboys. That's to be expected for the Knights. A quad injury to Anari Tuala. I like this, Brian. Panther Tommy Jenkins comes in for his first game as a Knight. And Anari Tuala may find it hard to get it back off him. Englishman Kai Pearce-Paul has been promoted to the starting side after a strong showing on the bench.
He looked good.
Yeah.
I know we were discussing and saying he had a little bit of feelings crossed and said he's got a bit of SBW about him.
Yep.
Didn't see that, but he's big and rangy,
Yep.
and he's not scared. He's got the exuberance of youth, He's popping one out and balls as well. He was exciting to watch because there's nothing worse. And I hate this when they try and set up, and the lower teams do this.
Yeah.
You're 20 metres out, and they send 3 forwards off the dummy half. Like it drives me insane.
It drives me
Up
bonkers.
the wall.
We need a chaos set, Brian. The Gold Coast caused no trouble to the Dragons. They started to play a bit of chaos and then they scored. Cowboys and the Knights, of course, I think about that Kalen Ponga semi-final. Played 2 or 3 games. Bang, they put him in. He scores a try. Storm take on the Warriors, Brian. Amy Park, the venue, 7:35 p.m. on Saturday.
Yes, Cameron Munster, not even in the 22-man squad. So the Gary Coyne or Osteopubi might not be doing it. So we don't know what that is. So Jonah Pezzett will again run in the halves with Jerome Hughes and the Nelson effect. He's not named. Far out. So that must be a big injury for Nels. Warriors unchanged from round 1. Wade Egan has been named, but he had that bodgy elbow. He's had injuries with that prior. Richard. So this is going to be a good game. And the Warriors, for whatever reason, they always trouble the Storm.
It's hard to get up after playing Penrith.
Yeah,
you put all that energy in to try and beat Penrith. They're a massive chance. I'll be close to tipping them head-to-head.
Yeah.
The Warriors, I think, Brian. And, of course, when you think about this game, you think of what? The Anzac Day clashes.
Yeah, Witt
In a semi-final.
Not half. Was it Michael or Stephen?
Michael.
Yep.
And he danced around in the in-goal too. Just put the ball down.
That's right. They were in the black jumpers, the black shorts, in that really small in-goal down there at the old Olympic Park. What a low joint to play footy on.
Was there that moment with the Fox and RTS to the corner where Addo-Carr broke through and sort of took him to the corner? It might have been 21, Anzac Day. Bit of an iconic shot from the corner. Camera 5.
And RTS gets him?
No.
Oh.
Addo-Carr scores a try. It was a flogging.
Oh, okay.
Anzac Day. But, yeah, an iconic moment for me.
So Rogers up against Nicky Meaney. I want to see him from a scrum. Just give him the early ball and watch him go.
Have you ever had to defend out of a scrum, Brian?
Yes.
That's the worst place, most uncomfortable place to defend.
Carl Daunton.
Travis.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Because you get isolated and it's the spaces are so much bigger.
Oh, I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
Centers
Can I ask, when do we see Chanel Harris-Tavita? In the reserves. He's back in the reserves.
Yep.
When does he get into the first team squad?
Well, at this stage, I think, Turi, Dylan Walker's and Freddie Lussick have got his role covered, haven't they?
If Wade Egan gets ruled out, that I'd expect him to come in. Chanel might come in. You like Chanel, don't you?
Oh, yeah, huge fan of Chanel. Any double barrel name for me.
Yeah.
They're a positive player.
Wouldn't it be good if he was a winger and he just played on the wing? Chanel, number 5. Wouldn't that be good?
Like Matautia.
Oh,
that's right.
Ali Leotawa, that's the nephew of Ali Leotiti.
Yeah.
Apparently, he absolutely destroyed him in the reserve grade. So he must be close as well, this young fellow.
What about Jazz? I love Jazz.
Well,
Tavanga?
if he destroyed them, Fletch, like he's a centre, if he absolutely destroyed them, there must be temptation to go, righto, Roger, go back to fullback for us, will you, mate? Ali.
Tuapiki was good.
He was good, but I'd like to see some part of Roger go there.
Yep.
Hybrid.
What
Got
sort?
some
Just
depth.
his leg or his...
Just an
What
elbow.
part of
dude.
it?
Just an elbow will be fine. Seagulls take on the Roosters, gentlemen.
4 Pines Park, Brooks, first game there as an Eagle. Jason Saab, he's going to miss 6 weeks with the hamstring tear in Vegas. So Tommy Talau takes his place. Carl Lawton, who suffered an ankle injury in round 1, he's been named to play. Josh Schuster didn't go over to Vegas. He's going to make his season debut in New South Wales Cup. Jake Arthur is again 18th man. Boost for the Roosters. Dom Young, star recruit. He's been named to make a return from a neck injury. Young takes over the wing from Palga, who came in late for Billy Smith over in Vegas. Also back, Jared Warrior-Hargraves. He's back from his suspension. Satili Tupanua has been named to play despite his groin injury in round 1. And obviously the Roosters will be out without Spencer Leniu.
Cromie.
Next 8 games.
Cromie.
Oh, what have you seen, Brian?
Ooh.
I know you're going the Chooks.
I'm going the Chooks, but Siwa Wong to score.
Really?
Siwa Wong, I can see him scoring.
Okay, all
I can
right.
see Siwa scoring, so let it be written, so let it be done.
Okay. Gee, that's a good team. If Egan Butcher can't make you 17.
Oh, don't worry about that. Look at this in the reserves. Connor Watson, Egan Butcher, Angus Crichton, and Ponga, who's a first grader as well.
And you still haven't got Spencer, so there's plenty of depth. Plenty of depth there. That's a massive game. But as Shawnee said, there might be a bit of
Did you just burp then or hiccup?
inclement weather around.
Really?
Hiccup.
Yeah, I heard it's going to rain as well.
Is it? Dolphins and the Dragons tourists. Geez, Brooks is giving you a couple of crackers.
Oh, no. Here we go. Dolphins, Dragons. Big change in the half. Young gun, Isaiah Katoa. He's been named at 7. Sean Sullivan is in the reserves. Drops out completely. Show me the way, Mr. Jake Alvarello. He is going to make his debut.
Yes, finally.
Named
Okay.
alongside Herbie.
Oh,
in
look
the
at that.
centres.
Yeah.
If 1 and 3 don't scream, you know what, Brian?
Yeah, hybrid.
That screams hybrid.
Hyundai, they got a hybrid out.
Yep.
The best player in the entire competition, the Scotsman Ewan Aitken, comes up against his former team. He comes into the second row. And Jared Wallace joins the bench after being his 18th man last week.
Changes.
For the Dragons, Luciano Leilua, he has been named on the bench to make his club debut after missing the first round. Blake Laurie is good to go after being ruled out. And one of the inaugural members of the Mickey M's, Raymond Fatela Mariner, he's been named on the bench, while fellow recruit Hame Sele remains sidelined with a hamstring injury.
Oh, you have a big win and you throw in Luciano Leilua, you throw in Blake Laurie. Geez, I tell you what, I have to be on the Dragons.
But I'm looking at that back line now. Hammer can't play as bad as he did.
No.
He cannot play as bad as he did last weekend.
That is
that
true.
was very unhammer-like. It was even like a screwdriver.
There's a lot of strike in that Dolphins back line that the Titans didn't seem to have last week.
Nah.
It was very much just Boyd kicking to the wing. But I think these guys can really break the game open.
You know what? I'm going again. I'm going again.
Oh, Crow.
Double crow.
Hammer scores 2 or more. Hammer scores 2 or more.
Oh, it's a Crow frenzy.
Sunday Crow.
It's a murder.
It's a
murder on the dance floor.
It's a murder of crows.
And head down here to you, DJ. It's murder in the studio.
Oh, is it what? SEN League, by the way, is back Thursday night. The Broncos take on the Rabbitohs at Suncorp Stadium. It's a huge game with one team. Now, pretty much history will say that if you are 0-2, forget top 4. And if you forget top 4, you can pretty much forget a premiership. You can catch the match from 7 p.m. Across the SEN network. That being said, Cowboys, I think, were 0-4 the year they won the competition, but it very, very rarely happens. The run over Joel and Fletch.